Have you ever gotten to a new progression boss and thought, man, I really wish I could actually get an accurate sim for this boss so I could kind of see what talents and legendaries or gear sets to try on it? But SimCraft only provides a couple presets, so you can't really do that. Well, look no further, because I have set up what is essentially a series of raid events to simulate every Nighthold boss. This has been a project I've been working on the side for, like, since Nighthold came out, basically, and I know it's, like, really late at this point, but I'm basically releasing this video for, like, everyone to test it out and let me know if they want it in Tomb of Sargeras, because it is very time-consuming. So, in this video I'm going to show you guys how to do this, or not actually make it, but how to use it, and what exactly it does, and I want you guys to tell me if it's something that I should continue working on. So, without further ado, let's actually look into it. So basically you open up this Google Doc I have with all of them on it, and I just want to reiterate that it's not perfect. Like, for example, I set these all up during progression, so they're kind of set up for progression. Like, Scorpion ads are lasting 10 seconds, that may not be the case anymore. But if you want to actually change this, you can. It's pretty simple. Like, you see ads name equals Scorpion, you just change this to like 5 seconds. If it's going to last only 5 seconds, kind of adjust it to however you want. If you don't want to do that, it's still a decent representation of the boss, so you can just use them as they are. As you can kind of see, it's a little bit sloppy in the beginning, and then as I get a little further down, I get a little better at organizing it, and eventually I think I did pretty good on like Gul'dan stuff. You probably can't even tell the difference. It just looks like a bunch of lines of script. But yeah, as I was saying, they're set up for like what I had, my experience. So if the boss, for example, let's look at Star Augur, all the way down here. Star Augur has percent-based phases. So in a condition like this, I will set everything up to what I think the average is at the time I killed it, and then I'll have the max time as what that average was. And I strongly recommend you set the max time, or you set your SimCraft time to what I had the max time as, because otherwise you'll be missing like a huge part of phase 3. Even if it is a longer kill than what you had, it's the most accurate way you can actually represent the boss, unless you want to skip all of phase 3 or something. But especially with bosses like Gul'dan, where the phase transitions and stuff are really, really important. So that's definitely something you want to keep in mind. And these are actually pretty easy to use once I have them set up like this. Anything with a pound sign in front of it is not going to be registered by SimCraft. These are all just notes, so don't worry about getting rid of those or anything. As you may have already read on the screen here, to like use this, you basically just copy and paste it. Like, that's really bad. Say I want to use Charlie X. You copy it, open up SimCraft. I already have my thing set up here. You just paste it in the SimCraft like page below your character. It can even probably be above your character, but I'm not entirely sure on that. In general, just put it below your character. You probably can't be above this part, and then click on simulate. It's that simple. Right now I have it set up for something else, but so I don't know exactly how long Charlie X usually is. Let's go with like 3 minutes, like 108 seconds. And then just leave this on patchwork. It's really important that this stays on patchwork, otherwise it's going to be adding additional things which will completely ruin it, or overlap with things. It's just it'd be a mess. And then you just click on simulate, and it will simulate. My computer probably really hates me right now for doing this and simulating at the same time. But this is what will show up. It'll be the normal thing. Up here it'll show the raid events list. See, it completely removes everything with the pound in front of it. And it just has like what it had the boss do, like movement. At 100 seconds in, you move for 40 seconds. It's a 50% chance that you have to move for 40 seconds. And obviously this is a little bit unrealistic, because you can probably stutter step, or you can probably stand still for a little bit, but there's no good way of doing this type of thing. And that's another reason these are a little bit inaccurate. But again, much better than just simming patchwork. And it also has like the ad spawn, and then yeah, you can just look at it like this. And some of the bosses are a lot more complicated than that, but all the single target bosses are actually pretty well made on the later ones. And as I said, I picked up a lot of tricks, so I think if I did this in Tomb of Sargeras, it would be a lot better than some of the earlier bosses here. But it is extremely time consuming, so if it's not something that the majority of people want, it's not something I'm really willing to put a whole lot of time into. But yeah, this is what I've been doing for months now. One other important thing that I think is worth mentioning in this video, there's a few more of those, but this is one of them. all the bosses that have this underlined part right here that says requires a modified APL, do not use without. This is probably something that you won't see in Tomb of Sargeras, but if you actually want to use the Nighthold ones, like if you're still progressing in Nighthold, the best way to use this is I actually have the action priority list that I want you to use down here. I can't guarantee that it's always up to date because it's just like the APL is constantly updating, but I update it every time there's a new patch or anything. And basically, it's the normal APL. I'm not going to take credit for it. I didn't write all of this. I did write the AoE part. I kind of redid it so it focuses on boss damage. This is specifically for Tichondrius and Botanist Mythic. And I don't think I actually mentioned this, but these are all set up for Mythic. So if you're trying to use these on Heroic, a lot of bosses will be a little inaccurate. But basically it's normal AoE list, but it's focusing strictly on doing boss damage. So it'll be a lot better for giving you the right talents. And then when you sim that, you just look at the DPS to main target as the boss damage. I just realized I did that whole part without actually showing you how to use the APL. As it says right here, you go into SimCraft, let's see me tab again, you go to the top, the very top, type in default, you have to spell it right, unlike me, actions equals 0. As it says right here, default actions equals 0, and then copy every part of the APL, not just like the AoE part. You have to copy the entire thing, and you can copy this if you want, as I said, pound signs don't matter. You copy the whole thing all the way down to the bottom. It's a lot of APL, thanks Blood for putting in all the work. And then, I'm actually reading my own guide as I'm doing this. Paste it above the main character setup. This is for if you have copies. Well, did I say below? I meant to say below. Yeah, I read that wrong. This is if you have copies. Like, I actually have this right here set up. This is my main character, and then these are copies using various talents. In this situation, you put this here. Be above the main one, so the main one uses it, and then these are all copying it. Yeah, basically, the copies will all entirely copy what this one is doing, just different talents. So if this APL, you want to put this above the copies, but below the main one. And then if you wanted to add a boss, you put that, that's full screen, it just doesn't work, put that below the copies. So I think that about covers everything. I do want to say that I can always guarantee that the Elemental Shaman APL is willing to handle things like movement and AoE and spread out ads and stuff. It's all set up to handle that perfectly. But I cannot say that for other specs. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure, at least I'm fairly sure that like the Shadow Priest one does, but I don't know anything else. I don't play any other specs serious enough to actually look into it. So if things look completely off to you, this may just like not be something you can do. But well, without writing your own APL, which is going to be challenging. It's a lot harder than it looks. But for those that do use it, if you ever see anything that looks off, like if an ad isn't spawning at the right time, or isn't spawning at all or something, do let me know. The reason I have this all in a Google Doc is so that I can always edit it. And like I said, if you guys want this for Tomb of Sargeras, let me know, and I will probably end up doing it, because I can do it a lot more time efficiently now. Instead of taking 3 months, I can take as long as progression is or whatever, and then release it all. So, yeah. So thanks for watching, guys. If I do this again, I will do my best not to release it the week before the raid that I release it on is completely irrelevant. Well, relevant for most people. I'll still be doing it for my tier set. I don't know, I actually will. But thanks for watching, guys. Do let me know if you want to see this, and hopefully this serves someone well. I did spend hours and total of 6 months doing it. So thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.